All right, so Minnesota Wild talk. Let's get into it. I know there's been a lot of comments and questions. First, I know Isha made the thumbnail related to Craig Button's reaction to Marco Rossi rumors. So we'll just address that so that we can check the box. He basically just said, be careful trading skilled players.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly the message underlying as he continued talking was trading Marco Rossi is a mistake.
Mm-hmm. I think like literally there might be like 2 or 3 people in the world that think it's a good idea. I think like,
let's see.
It feels like everyone's on the same page
Guerin,
outside of the guys that are making the fucking decision.
Bill Guerin, Rossi's agent, and Craig Leopold because Bill Guerin told him.
Yeah.
That's the list.
Yeah. But that was a great fucking interview. First, like, even just before we even dive into what Button was saying in that podcast, like, I fucking love Craig Button. Like,
he's awesome.
He's a dude who's like, he doesn't have conversations where you feel like he doesn't give a shit or doesn't want to be there. Like, even when he was like just talking about like golf at the end and his dream foursome, like he's first of all, fascinating choices. I kind of loved it. Like, it was just, I did not see any of these ones coming, and it's very funny. But like, even that, he was going in depth detail. I fucking love the guy. So like, I really enjoyed listening to that interview. Like, he would have sat there for hours with you.
Oh, for sure. And there's a lot of times too where we'll like ask people to start like, hey, like, do you have a hard stop at all that we need to be aware of? Because we got to make sure we get the Waggle question in, of course, for our great friends Waggle Golf. But he's like, oh no, I got more than 30 minutes. Like, I got at least 40, 45. I'm like, all right, we'll go with that then.
Just a genuinely good dude who's like obviously knows his shit.
What do you? So here's my question then. If we're gonna talk about that, and this I guess should be pushed to the prospect segment, but I don't care. Jiricek basically said that he is a third pairing guy and that's all he'll ever be. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I understood what he was saying. To me, it was more like accept whatever role you get, but like obviously compete hard. I see, again, like I see why he would do that. I'm obviously higher. I think he can be a really good 4, which isn't like crazy. Like Button said 5. I'm saying like I think he's a solid 4. It was interesting too. He's like be like a Brandon Carlo. I'm like I think he's like a little bit more wild than a guy like Carlo, but he's got significantly more upside as far as like his offense goes and his skill. Like that's one of his main assets. It's just like the amount of offense he can produce in the back end, the shot that he's got, and the skill, and like his willingness to walk the blue line. Again, especially given the fact how much they gave up, you hope that he doesn't just like top out as like a solid third pair guy. But again, like if he can find a way to fill a role and be a big time contributor, whatever role he's in, it's fine. But again, I understood what Button was saying. I still think there's more upside there just in terms of like the offense he can provide. But yeah. And I see solid number 4 that can give you some second power play looks, especially on this team too. There's not going to be when it's all said and done. Some of the guys that are coming like Judd'z Budz and like your offensive looks, especially the power play, are probably going to be a little bit more limited. So definitely some room to grow like defensively, and he does have that physicality and nastiness to his game when he wants to. Obviously everyone talks about the skating, which I think is a little bit overblown, but definitely gonna have to work out to be an everyday NHLer. But he's just had such a up and down path, like to get here too. Like just first of all, just needs to get healthy and just get back to playing. So we'll see.
Yeah,
but I still think there's more upside.
Off the Lacombe thing, which again I was just kind of messing around. A couple people replied saying that Faber's already got his pairing mate in Buium. Do you want to see them paired together or do you want to see them split up? And everyone that's here live in the YouTube chat, I just threw that up as a poll as well. Kind of curious what general consensus is. I have a strong opinion on this. I think I brought it up many times, but where do you land?
The idea of them playing together is obviously very fun. Like Faber's just legit already elite defenseman in the NHL. Judd'z Budz is just like he's the most exciting prospect in the pool. I still think you split them up. That being said, like, let's say down the line, is there going to be a situation where there's a decent chance they end up on a pair together? Sure. But especially like early in Buium's career, probably better to like separate those two, even though Faber, again, he's already like a legit fucking 28 minute a night defensive D-man. But I think down the line, I can see a world.
I almost say play them together early, but long term, split them up. Like, I know it's not a direct comparison, and I'm not trying to say that they're these players, even though I guess Craig Button does compare Zeev to Scott Niedermayer, but Niedermayer Pronger, literally, you've got one of those two on the ice for 50 minutes of the game. I'd love to know that I either have Faber or Buium on the ice for the entire game. Like, obviously, it's a matter of finding the right guys to pair with them and make it make sense, but I'd much rather have them split up. But I know that the fan base will not agree. So, all right. So, Wild Prospects. Everyone go check out our buddies, MNW Prospects, Minnesota Wild Young Guns on Facebook and Twitter. We kind of already addressed David Jiricek. You think he's a 4. Button thinks he's a 5. I'm fine if he ends up with either. Honestly, my hope is that if he ends up as a 5, it means good things for who's above him. But we'll see. Everyone appears to be talking about Jesper Wallstedt right now. Craig Button brought it up. I've heard it on a ton of different prospect shows. How worried should people be? Like, I'm not saying that there's zero panic, but are you panicking?
Well, I mean, just given the last year, like how bad it went all around for him and how like crazy it was. And this again goes back to the shit we talked about with Iowa too, where it's like, it really doesn't help a goaltender when that situation down there is as chaotic as it is. I don't think you can possibly feel great about like, given how this year went, like, and the fact that he starts that legit 1-play 2-year deal next year. Like, you're obviously not super pumped on the idea of him and Gustin being your 2 guys in the NHL. So yeah, I think Butt mentioned it too. They probably need to go out and pick up a 3rd goalie for cheap. Because like, I don't know how you could watch, or just given how the year went, like yeah, he's going to play 25, 30 games and we're going to be fine with it. Long term, I'm still not super concerned. Like, you've obviously wanted better numbers. You want him to be ideally like challenging for a spot this year. If they were really planning on going with the 3 rotation, would have liked to see him just be at a better spot right now.
Does come back now with how well he's played over? Oh wait, Denmark happened. Oh.
Yeah. Again, long term, I'm still not super concerned. Who knows? Like, let's say if they don't even go out and get that 3rd goalie, like, who knows? Maybe just like gets here and starts working out. I guess you don't feel great about saying that about goalies, but it's definitely just like an uncomfortable spot right now. Just given like the pedigree coming in, but like this year, it's just been like, this was the year from hell for that. Yeah. For a prospect like him. And again, does not help in this situation. Iowa is what it is.
All right. There's 3 more guys to talk about. It'll be fairly rapid fire, but Danila Yurov. Where do you want to see him slotted in to start the season? Like, what's the ideal line to have him on?
Oh, I have. God. I mean, again, we'll see what happens. It's impossible to know without knowing like what free agents they're going to go out and get. Like,
sure, current
given
roster.
The fact that like they're,
or you can say free agent.
Well, that's the thing. Well, it's just like, I wouldn't necessarily want to just immediately throw him at center. I mean, again, he's been really good playing center in the KHL in a pro league. I'm actually a lot happier that he ended up playing over there instead of like signing and coming over to Iowa like 2 years ago. Just given, again, what we've been talking about the last hour. If you want to go out and throw a big money contract at a center or whatever, if you trade Rossi, then obviously put him like 2-3, like on the wing or whatever. Again, he can play right wing, he can play left wing, which is always nice. He's got the flexibility. He doesn't need to like necessarily pop off offensively for him to like impact the game. Like, he is just a solid 2-way forward in general. But I mean, again, the thing is, like, it just sounds like they're really putting their eggs in the basket that he's going to come over here and be just a solid center. So, but also though, it clashes with the idea that they're going to go out and sign a center for big money as a free agent. I don't know. So I couldn't even before a free agent, I could not guess where they're going to where he's going to land like day one. Who knows? Maybe he'll again be in Iowa for all I fucking know.
Fair. Riley Heidt. Does he play part of the year in Iowa, full year in Iowa, or the next 2 years in Iowa? Where do you lean?
Oh, I definitely think he plays a full year in Iowa. Who knows? Probably gets a couple call-ups this year. Depending on how it goes, I guess. And I would probably guess he's there for 2 years, honestly. So I'd probably 2.
Okay.
2 in Iowa, I'd say.
I figured at least this year, but
which is also fine. I like people like
right.
I remember like some of the reactions last offseason. I was like, what are we doing? Like we're going to freak out about literally everything.
Well, it's been a while since the Wild have had this many good prospects, and people probably forget how long it takes for them to marinate and actually be ready, right?
Yeah.
I actually don't blame the fans. They got really no reason to know how prospects actually get developed because the Wild have never done it. Famously. So
fair enough.
Blame the team.
I would bet on him spending at least 2 years in Iowa.
Okay.
Then, year 3 we get a better idea what we got going. Where he slots in.
Riley says, for all the negative talk about Jesper, I haven't heard much positive talk about Samuel Levi. He's been awesome to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is just like the pedigree with wallstedt, like in how crazy the year was, it's always going to get more of the headlines. Plus, like no one can really feel great about anything that's been going on, like in Iowa, like defensively, goaltending wise. Yeah, that was a nice signing last year. He's put up some good numbers and played solidly internationally too. So it was definitely good that they went out and got another goalie with some potential upside. So we'll see. But I think, again, like Wallstedt's always just going to get those headlines.